deadbeat father. Gotten rid of you before you were even born.
Marion, that's enough.
Victoria, I didn't expect you'd show.
My father. You owe me the truth. Who was he?
Didn't you recognize him, Victoria? That lecherous man that you seduced into your bed.
Victoria, what are you doing in my things?
Nothing. I just want to look pretty for Thanksgiving.
For Thanksgiving or for Thomas? I need all his attention focused on me this afternoon.
Yes, Mother. Do you think he's gonna ask you to marry him?
He better. We're nearly out of money.
You sure are a pretty little thing, Vicky. Little glimpse of what your mama must have looked like when she was around your age. What are you now, 20, 25?
15.
Victoria, would you pour the coffee, please? Thomas and I'll take it in the living room.
Yes, ma'am.
I am not marrying you, Marion. That is not what this is.
You can't leave me. How are we gonna survive?
And nobody promised to take care of you and plus the kid.
What was because of Victoria? I can send her away.
Yeah, you would do that, wouldn't you?
Or is she the reason that you come by at all?
You are a sick woman, you know that? Goodbye, Marion.
No, you are not leaving.
Get out of my way!
Thomas, please.
Get out of my way!
Victoria, come here quickly. You just couldn't control yourself, could you? Batting your eyelashes like a little whore. Come here. Come here! Take the gun. Aim for his chest.
No, I can't.
We'll tell the police that he attacked us, that you shot him to protect me. No jury will ever convict you. You'll be hailed as a hero. My God, Victoria, if you don't do this, they will take me away from you forever. You will be all alone. For God's sake, do as I say.
And she was right. The grand jury failed to indict me, though I was hardly hailed as a hero. The judge sentenced me to a 6-month inpatient psychiatric evaluation. By the time I was returned to her, she had already met Maxwell. And then one night, she saw him sneak into my room. And the next morning, she threw me to the curb. By that spring, they were married. You threw me out on the street. I was a child. I was 15.
You drove a wedge between me and every man I ever loved.
Did you know deep down, I hate tea? My mother was a fan of instant coffee. She's a vulgar woman. I made myself drink Fortnum's Earl Grey. It's a way to forget about my past and see more upper crust.
What did Jimmy Brennan do to you?
Well, as I told you, he lived down the hall. And I was a child pretending to be an adult, desperate to recreate myself. Jimmy was like a big brother, a few years older than I, and he always watched over me. So when a fuse blew one day in my apartment, I didn't think twice about following him down to the basement. He kisses me, and I say, no, we're just friends. And I try to pull away, and he has this look on his face like a monster. He punches me, and I raise my arms to cover my face to mask my shame and my confusion because I had worked so hard. I did everything to change myself, and I knew he could still see the victim. And he pushes my face into the cold concrete, and he whispers, relax, honey, over and over and over.
Look, Jimmy, we should talk. It's not too late for that. I can't believe I didn't figure it out sooner. Vicki Harper. Been a long time. And you must be the kid that she stole from me. Right, the happy family reunion, huh?
He started stalking me, so we ran from apartment to apartment until there was nowhere else to go.
Your dear mom ever mentioned to you how she used me back then? And she took advantage of my help to get what she needed out of life. And how did she thank me? By giving you away.
I was 15 years old and I was looking for someone to trust, and you preyed on that. You raped me.
You knocked on my door that night. We had a drink. We hung out. You said you were feeling adventurous, that you wanted me down in that basement.
Oh, you bastard!
Listen, he doesn't know what really happened with David Clarke. Murder and terrorism weren't his only crimes. What happened wasn't Mom's fault.
Is that the story you're spinning these days? Astonishing the lengths you'll go to for self-preservation. And I'll never forgive you for inviting that bastard into our bed.
She didn't invite him, Dad. It's not what happened.
No, that's exactly what happened, Daniel. Whatever you think you know, that man never attacked your mother. And it wasn't just one night. It was an ongoing affair.
I was pregnant once. My mother's boyfriend.
Victoria, I'm glad you're here.
So you can take care of this for me? And no one will ever know?
It's the worst time of my life.
So the pregnancy was terminated.
Oh, Patrick, sweetheart. Be quiet for Mommy, please.
Reminds me of Arshil Gorky.
With a dash of Kandinsky.
Art student.
Just spent a lot of time at the New York Artist Academy Library.
I'm the dean of admissions there.
Oh, wow, small world.
You have a good eye. And he has a matching pair.
Oh no, I'm just the baby's au pair.
You know, we have several scholarships available.
You realize the decision you make is permanent, and that a vow is sacrosanct. Once taken, I shall never break it.
I do, sister.
Then I promise to find your son the best possible home, and never to tell him who his mother is.
You forgot the last promise.
I didn't. I want you to be sure. Then I promise never to tell you what becomes of him.
Mr. Grayson, I'm sorry. Just to be clear, are you saying your wife had an abortion?
In 1973, yes.
Are you now denying that you abandoned a 6-month-old boy named Patrick to enroll in a European art school?
And then this miracle happened. A scholarship to Paris. Painful as it was, I knew it was the only way I could protect us both. When I took you to Sister Rebecca, I told her that Jimmy might come for you. And she vowed to keep you away from him at any cost.
Victoria.
Despite my marriages, my dalliances, I still remember the night I lost you.
It's the blonde dragon, my favorite.
I'm sorry. I will never betray you again.
Are you Vicki Harper?
Where did you hear that name?
That guy bought you this.
What time is it?
Nearly 8.
Where have you been? I've left half a dozen messages.
My phone died. I'm sorry, I have to go.
Don't worry, darling. It's what you do.
I see you been redecorating. I find your choice of fine art in the foyer to be very inspired.
Yeah, well, the de Kooning has sentimental value.
I couldn't help but notice the de Kooning the last time I was here.
Conrad had it relocated from his office. He said it was the most important piece in his collection.
It isn't worth the canvas it's painted on, and he knows it. It's a forgery. I know because I had it commissioned, and I passed it off on him. That's how we met.
You know, a long time ago, I told her, a vibrant young woman, I'd never experienced anything close to the passion I felt when I painted her. And I knew, with absolute clarity, that I was in love with her. And do you know how that person responded?
I told you I didn't think I could fall in love with anyone.
I never believed that. Not until the day you ran off and actually married that bloke.
When they told me who I was meeting, I was expecting to see the former governor's wife.
Hardly. I'm the first Mrs. Grayson.
Well, you know what they say. Nothing beats the original.
I think so, too.
Stevie Grayson? If that's what you still call yourself.
It is, Victoria. How are you?
Well, it seems I'm condemned to revisit the horrors of my past, if you must know.
Oh, I'm sorry you see me that way. Especially since the last time we spoke, you were on my husband's arm.
I'm surprised you remember that at all, considering your level of inebriation. So I brought along an old friend. There was a time when the smell alone was enough to make you sloppy and so chatty.
Get the hell out of my room.
I probably should. Drink. Since I suspect you're about as pregnant as I am.
You know, for once, you're not completely mad, Victoria. Daniel needed a little last-minute incentive, so I stole from the master manipulator. After all, isn't a fake pregnancy how you landed Conrad?
Well, the difference is that I believed I loved him.
You won, Victoria. Isn't that enough? Though I guess you're still trying to take what I already have.
Had we even settled on a name yet?
No, Daniel was still baby boy Grayson.
What are you thinking about?
The past reminds me how much I once loved him.
Conrad?
No. Not Conrad.
Don't be afraid to eat. It's quite a nice spread.
Bill. Fashionably late as usual.
Oh, that's my fault, I'm afraid. Bill took a detour to my house. I'm David Clarke. I work with your husband.
Happy New Year, Mr. Clarke. How's it we haven't met before?
David's not much for parties.
You'll enjoy yourself tonight.
Thank you. Victoria. Oh, hello again. I was looking for your husband. I didn't want to leave without saying thank you.
Well, I haven't seen him. Why'd you come in?
Okay, well, I guess I will say thank you to you. That was a lovely evening.
Well, it's snowing outside. Could I offer you some insulation from the cold?
Thank you, but I was hoping to get home in time to watch the ball drop with my daughter.
Oh, well, that's very important. I wish I could spend New Year's Eve with my son, but he's with my in-laws, and I've already called them 4 times.
It's amazing how much you miss them, isn't it?
Why don't you come over for brunch tomorrow? I'd love to meet the whole family.
Ah, well, it's just me and Amanda now. My wife is not with us anymore.
I'm so sorry. No one should ever have to spend the holidays grieving.
Thank you.
of them.
Hey, promise me when you wear them that you think of me.
Always.
God, you're so beautiful. Feels like you're a million miles away.
If only.
You know, my aunt, Charlotte, has a farm in Kansas, 50 acres. We could pack our bags and leave tonight.
I can't leave Daniel with Conrad.
Well, we can pack 2 bags. Bring the kids with us. Besides, when Conrad finds out about us, I'm gonna be finished on Wall Street. I'm gonna be packing my bags regardless.
That's why no one can find out about us, David. I've lived that life before, and I can't live it again.
Well, what about love? Can you live without that?
Hi. I only have a few minutes.
Bill Harmon knows about us. I think he's gonna tell Conrad.
I don't understand. How did this happen?
I trusted the wrong person.
Conrad doesn't know that I took $5 million out of our account.
Well, he will. But we'll be gone by then. When do you want to go?
September 1st. That's when Conrad returns to the city. You're not gonna back out, are you?
You have to trust me. I know you have a hard time with that.
David?
No, that's why I want you to keep this safe. Choose the passcode and hide it somewhere.
No, if this is going to work, we have to trust each other. I'll choose the code, and you hide the safe. And when the time's right, we'll open it together and only together.
Together. Earlier today, he seemed extra tense.
I think he knows what's coming. I've sent Daniel to his grandmother's for the weekend so I can finally put an end to it.
Wow. This is really happening then?
Yes.
Come over after. You can finally meet Amanda. More importantly, she can finally meet you.
I'll call you in. I'm on my way. 9 o'clock?
Okay.
David? I love you.
I love you too.
I was afraid, and I was frightened of you. We were going to take the children and start a new life. And I knew the risks, but I believed in us. And that's when I found out the secret you've been hiding about your wife.
Kara?
You told me she was dead, David. I bought every word of it, and you made your daughter believe it too.
She was sick. Amanda was only a child. She wouldn't have understood.
I would have. I waited for you to tell me the truth, but you never did. And in the moment I needed to trust you the most, you made me doubt you. And I hated you for it. It'll work because you trust me.
How can you be so sure?
Because I know David's deepest secret. The wife he had before we met.
The one who died in 1990.
Yes. If you look a little deeper, you'll find there's much more to the story. David told me that his wife was no longer with him, which is technically true. But she isn't dead. Far from it.
So why would he lead everyone to believe that she was?
He has his reasons. He went to go visit her today to ask for a divorce.
So he could marry you, I suppose? And that's even a bigger fool than I thought.
246 fatalities in the bombing of Flight 197. The final death toll will likely surge to include the many unaccounted...
Conrad, are you all right? What is it?
I made a terrible, terrible mistake. You know the plane that went down Flight 197? I'm responsible.
What on earth are you talking about?
The group that claimed responsibility for the bombing, I was laundering money for them.
Conrad.
Investigation's gonna tie it back to the company. I'm gonna go to prison for the rest of my life if I'm lucky. They're gonna freeze all of our assets, and you're gonna have to raise Daniel alone under a cloud of disgrace. Life, as we know it, Victoria, is over.
And Conrad told me about the bombing, and Daniel and I were trapped, and I was terrified of losing my son. And in my rage, I used you to get us out of it.
Victoria, what are you doing here?
I had to see you.
You're soaking wet.
I told Conrad I was leaving him.
I thought you said.
I can't live this way anymore, and I want for us to be together.
If anyone could have proven David Clarke was innocent, it was your mother.
How?
When he asked for a divorce, he told her he planned to marry Victoria. Your mother's testimony would have brought down the whole house of cards.
You? What are you doing here? I realize I'm the last person you would ever wish to see. But I am sick with guilt over the mistakes I've made. You stole my husband, you whore. This is Federal Agent Gordon Murphy. In 48 hours, he and his team are going to arrest David for his role in destroying a jetliner. But your life depends on whether or not you agree to let us help you.
For those who believe in the resurrection, death is inconsequential. And then you killed her.
That was the plan. But you know, I don't always follow orders.
You are so beautiful. I love you.
I thought you might come here.
Stop following me, Frank.
You stop giving me a reason to. The feds are coming for David tomorrow night. What's done is done. Now, you made your decision, Victoria. The sooner you start living with it, the better.
David, it's Victoria.
Hey, do you mind going and looking after Sammy for me?
Sure.
David, are you there?
What's the matter, Sam?
Hey.
What you doing?
Whoa, whoa, what's going on? Hands up, what's going on? You're making a mistake! You're making a mistake! Get your hands off my daughter! Amanda, let her go! Amanda! Get your hands off my daughter! Get your hands off her! Amanda! Where are you taking her? Amanda!
With her father's arrest for that horrible crime, I think it's best for everyone involved that Amanda be institutionalized.
Well, I'll be the one to make that determination.
Of course, Doctor. I imagine how difficult it must be for you to handle cases like this. They're heartbreaking.
It's the job.
What if you had a different kind of job? What if I offered you a private practice with a steady stream of the right kind of clients? I could be your first patient. In return, you see to it that Amanda gets the care she needs in a proper institution. But more importantly, that she and her father remain separated for good.
I promise to be good. Will you please let me see my dad?
No. Just like your dad pretended to be a good father.
He was a good father.
You know the truth.
He hurt people.
Go on.
He killed people. He lied.
Good girl.
Please don't leave me in here. I promise I'll be a good girl.
You just be pretending. People who aren't who they claim to be, Amanda, are very, very dangerous. You would be wise to remember that.
Please don't leave me in here, please.
They destroyed David. And you destroyed his daughter.
I told him we were retiring for the evening. But we do have to give our statements in the morning.
you okay?
Of course not. What we did was despicable.
But necessary, you know that. I love you, Victoria.
I know that too. Conrad. I can't bear being alone right now. You stay with me tonight.
I'd like that very much.
On numerous occasions, he told me he was working on something big, and that he wanted me to run away with him.
No. David Clarke has to be completely dead to you, or the jury will see right through you.
Victoria. We're gonna lose everything. This house. Daniel. I mean, everything.
David Clarke threatened my life. If I didn't do what he wanted, he swore he would hurt my family as well. I did what I had to do to protect them. I only wish I could have done the same for the people who died in that plane.
Angola, Libya, I wouldn't even know who to contact there. Someone made it look like I moved money for the people that blew up the plane. But I swear to you, I didn't do this.
David, the evidence tells a completely different story, and even if what you're saying is true, I wouldn't know how to begin to help you.
I know. I shouldn't be putting you in this position. It's just, I really have no one else to turn to. The whole world is against me. Victoria, are you there?
I'm sorry, David. There's nothing I can do for you. Please don't call me again.
Victoria and I were in love. She was going to leave Conrad, and we were going to become a family. Victoria's denying all of it. Okay, well, they must have gotten to her somehow. It doesn't mean anything without proof. What about the letter she wrote me? Victoria managed to get a note to me.
My dear David, I am so horrified by what's happened to you, and I know how betrayed you feel. I can't tell you everything in a letter, but I'm going to Kingsley in the morning with evidence that will exonerate you. By this time tomorrow, the judge will have declared a mistrial, and this nightmare will be behind you. Behind both of us. Forgive me. David Clarke is innocent, and I can prove it. Tell the judge and have him call back the jury.
They're already in deliberations. And now you're telling me you committed perjury?
Don't believe her. She's in love with him.
What the hell is going on here?
What's going on here is you've just argued an airtight case against the most hated man in America. When the jury convicts him, you're going to be an instant national hero. Your political future, Tom, is wide open. You have a powerful supporter in me. Now, if you decide to listen to my wife, who's foolishly fallen in love with that monster, you're going to throw all that away. It's your call.
Whatever Victoria said to Kingsley, he didn't change his mind. After only one day of deliberations, the jury convicted me on all counts. 6 months ago, Victoria gave birth to a baby girl. Her name is Charlotte. You want proof that I'm telling the truth? Ask her who the father is. Victoria only came to the courtroom twice. Once for the day of her testimony, and then on the day that I was sentenced. On that day, she brought the baby. Charlotte. So beautiful. Her eyes were so familiar. I barely heard the judge when he told me that I would never leave this prison alive. Losing Amanda was hard enough. The thought of losing 2 daughters at once, it was unbearable.
And my husband on that plane. And as angry as I am at the people who are responsible, I am determined to do something positive with my family's legacy. I just don't know what that is yet.
We have to help her. We have to help all of them.
It's not a good idea to draw attention back to the company. As far as the world is concerned, David Clarke is responsible for that crash.
The world doesn't know what happened, and I cannot live with this guilt anymore.
You might be right, Frank. Endowing a charity could serve to improve the company's public image. Before we close the book on 2002, I'd like to raise a glass to all of you who have stood by our family here at home and at Grayson Global. As many of you know, our company has been languishing in the red ever since the terrible incident back in '93. But I am proud to announce that after 10 long years, we finally fought our way back to black. Grayson Global is on top again, and that is where I intend to keep us.
Champagne?
I think I might be needing something with a little more purpose. Excuse me. Thank you.
What are you coveting, sweetie? Is it the Dolce? Or what's underneath it?
Identity and moves into the house next door to seek revenge.
David Clarke had everyone fooled, including me. I'm just glad I can help get that monster away.
Conrad Grayson was sleeping with one of Victoria's best friends, Lydia Davis. They say vengeance is a dish best served cold. But sometimes it's as warm as a bowl of soup.
Where's Dad? Golfing?
Where else?
Yep, where else? Now, it feels like summer. Champagne?
You have to ask.
Oh.
Conrad? What's wrong? Are you okay? Conrad!
We need to get him in quick.
What does that mean? Is he gonna be okay?
Ma'am, I need you to step back, please.
Where are you taking him?
South Fork Hospital.
Lydia! Emily Thorne. My God, is this your husband? Do you need a ride to the hospital?
No, I don't.
Oh my God, Conrad, I thought I was going to find you dead.
I'm fine.
What happened?
Acute abdominal dyspepsia. The remorse of a guilty stomach.
Your staff made it sound as if he was having a heart attack.
Well, depending on the severity, the symptoms can be identical. As far as I can tell, your husband's as healthy as a thoroughbred. But I do suggest that he stay away from the South Fork Inn spicy piss for a while.
South Fork Inn?
Yeah.
I thought you went golfing.
Yeah, I did earlier.
South Fork is a half hour in the opposite direction.
I'm aware of that.
Excuse me.
Well, you know, I just get in the way when you're planning one of your parties. I decided to go for a drive and stay out of your hair for a while. And I'm sorry that I scared you.
Don't do it again.
Lydia, hi.
Oh, don't tell me you've taken up volunteering at the Met as well.
Emily's renting my house for the summer. We met briefly on the beach.
And then yesterday at the South Fork Inn. I hope your husband's feeling better.
Victoria, wait.
Imagine hiding your life away. All this time, I thought she was waging war on our family. This goes much farther. It's revenge for David.
Wife to Conrad Grayson, lover to David Clarke, mother-in-law to Amanda Clarke, who married your son, Daniel Grayson, who we now know died a hero.
Yes.
You've had quite an experience the last 20 years.
It has been a very difficult time. I died long before you were born. This is just a formality. Are you ready now?
More than you know. Goodbye, Victoria.